Business is booming and a lot of stores are taking a turn towards the future. Our business correspondent, Cyrus Henry, is here with the latest.
Thank you, Kennedy. Let's get right to it. Stocks steeply decline in tech shares, sending Wall Street in worry as its worst day in 8 months. Dow plummets more than 800 points since February. According to CNBC, S&P 500 and the Dow are down more than 4.4% and 3.3%, respectively. Dow Jones rebounded Tuesday with 431.72 points. However, Dow is still down 5.9% in October. Retailers across the nation are racing to claim a piece of the $10.5 billion toy sales behind by Toys R Us. Best Buy is one of these and is expanding its toy inventory in 1,000 U.S. stores. The company hopes that their track record will make them more appealing to manufacturers like Hasbro and Mattel. However, they do face competition with large retailers like Walmart and Target, who have also taken measures to stack claim in the market. Best Buy has acknowledged their competition, but is confident they will emerge on the top at the end of the holiday season. Amazon is considering opening to 3,000 cashierless stores by 2021. These stores allow a customer to simply scan their Amazon Go app when they enter, grab what they want, and leave. There are currently 6 Amazon Go locations across Seattle, Chicago, and California. The company plans to open new stores in major metro areas like New York. Sam's Club is preparing its own cashierless stores called Sam's Club Now to compete with Amazon's growing influence across industries. Its first location is set to open in Dallas, Texas. Good. Does that sound familiar? I know it sounds familiar to me. It's been the tasteful Campbell Soup slogan since the early 1930s. Currently, the 149-year-old American Soup Company is in the midst of a legal battle. The controversy began after activist Daniel Loeb and the current board disagreed in which direction the company should go after sales productivity decreased when the departure of its CEO occurred last year. Loeb believes that Campbell Soup needs fresh leadership because of their poor performance in the past, but the board argues that Loeb has no experience in the soup world. Both parties have support from the company's founding family. The verdict will take place on November 29th at the annual shareholder meeting. Currently, around 93% of the world's children under the age of 15 are breathing polluting air, putting their health and development at risk. Air pollution has accounted for 1 in 10 deaths and is not only has triggered asthma and brain development, but has also caused cancer in some cases. In the city of Delhi, India, people are preparing themselves for the most polluted time of the year due to their annual Hindu festival, which draws over 1 million people to the already populated city. 98% of India's children breathe the toxin air, and the Indian Medical Association has declared a public health emergency. Apple is investigating accusations that one of its suppliers illegally used high school students to assemble its watches at a factory in China. Hong Kong-based labor rights group stated in a report last week, which found students being put to work on Apple Watch production lines at a plant run by Quanta Computer in the city of Chongqing. The group of students aged 16 to 19 were forced by schools to work at a factory through required internships, placed in unrelated jobs to their field of study, worked excessive overtime, and put on overnight shifts. All of these practices violate Chinese regulations and Apple's own standards. Since last year, Apple has required suppliers to limit the number of student interns at factories to no more than 10% of their overall workforce. Sadly, 9 children have been reported dead at a New Jersey nursing home in last week, and at least 8 from viruses that cause respiratory illnesses. Said the state health department. The virus is known to linger on unclean surfaces and medical instruments and may not be erased by common disinfectants. There have been 25 proven cases at Wanakay Center for Nursing and rehabilitation in Haskell, including the 8 child deaths. The facility staff have planned all infection control and prevention measures in order to protect the health and safety of all.
The temperature warmed up this week just a tad. Our weather correspondent, Makili Aziz, is here in the studio to give us an update on this week's weather.
The Red Sox had a big win last weekend. Stay tuned for some highlights from the big game.